This is a story about a boy who lost his sight and how his disability inspired him to change the world. When he was just 4 years old, he got his hand caught in a machine while playing in his father's workshop. His eyes were super infected. Even with the doctors doing everything they could, they had to take out his eye because the infection spread to his brain. Sadly, this meant that not only did he lose his sight, but he also developed a stutter. Determined to overcome these challenges, he joined a National Institute for the Blind at the age of 10. There he learned to read and write by touch, but he soon realized that the methods the school was teaching were slow and cumbersome. For example, to read a book, they would have to feel the raised lines and dots on the page, which took a long time. And if they wanted to write, they would have to use a slate and stylus, which was not only expensive, but also impractical. This is when the young man decided to take matters into his own hands. At the age of 20, he began experimenting with a new reading and writing system. He wanted to create something that was faster, more efficient, and easier to use. After years of trial and error, he finally developed a method that consisted of punching out specific patterns of holes in paper that could then be read by touch. Each letter of the alphabet had its own unique pattern, which made it easy to learn. And because the dots were so small, they could be packed tightly together to form words, which made reading much faster. But even though this was a huge breakthrough, it wasn't an overnight success. At first, people were resistant to adopting this new method. They were used to reading and writing in the old-fashioned way, and they didn't see the need to change. However, as more and more people learned about this new method, it started to spread like wildfire. Before long, it became the global standard for blind education. In 1852, the French government officially recognized this method, and it was taught in schools throughout France. Today, more than 20 million people around the world use this method to read and write. And at the end of this video, we will reveal the name of the man who invented this incredible method. If you guessed Braille, then you are right. This is the story of Louis Braille, a man who turned his personal darkness into a universal light. If you want to hear more stories like this, stay tuned. And until next time, goodbye.